Imagine a time when potatoes were considered unfit for human consumption and only good enough for pigs. Now picture a man, Antoine-Augustin Parmentier, who saw potential in this humble vegetable. He believed so strongly in the potato's potential that he dedicated his life to transforming its reputation. This is the story of how one man turned a pig's meal into a culinary sensation. Let's rewind the clock to where it all began. Our little spud Parmentier was born in Montdidier, France, 1737. Early on in his life, he became an apprentice apothecary and later continued his apprenticeship in Paris. In the early days of his life, Parmentier found himself in the middle of the 7 Years' War, serving as an army pharmacist for France. However, fate took a turn when the Prussians captured him. It was during this imprisonment that Parmentier's love affair with potatoes began. The French dismissed them as hog feed because in 1748 France rejected the potato, citing bizarre reasons. They claimed potatoes caused leprosy. Yes, leprosy. The humble potato accused of spreading skin diseases instead of joy. But our man saw potential. In 1772, Parmentier had a lightbulb moment in prison. Why not use potatoes to nourish dysenteric patients? A real stroke of genius. After the war, he won a contest for his potato proposal, and suddenly the Paris Faculty of Medicine gave potatoes the green light. However, resistance persisted. France is all, "Now we're good with the baguettes things." Despite Parmentier's hustle, the French still think potatoes are the devil's root, with Parmentier's test garden blocked by a religious community. Fast forward to 1779. Parmentier, on a mission to stabilize Paris's food supply, became a professor at the Free School of Bakery. He dropped the mic with a book titled How to Make Bread with Potatoes, No Flour Needed. Haha, take that, gluten. And Parmentier is like, nope, not giving up. He goes full-on potato activist, hosting flashy potato dinners with fancy people like Benjamin Franklin and Antoine Lavoisier. Dude even makes a bouquet of potato flowers for the king and queen. Talk about commitment. In 1781, King Louis XVI gives him this massive chunk of land at Sablon. And guess what he does with it? Turns it into a potato patch. But this ain't your grandma's garden. Parmentier's got a plan. He goes all out and hires these burly guards to surround the potato patch. And get this, he wants people to think potatoes are the hottest commodity in town. A real Fort Knox, but for potatoes. Parmentier's logic is wild. He figures if folks see these beefy guards protecting the potatoes like they're the crown jewels, they'll assume these spuds are gold. I mean, who guards potatoes like that if they're not worth a king's ransom, right? Now here's the kicker. These guards, they're not there to stop the thieves. He straight up tells these guards to let any potato bandits waltz right in and snatch some taters. If these wannabe potato burglars try to bribe their way into the potato paradise, the guards are under strict orders to take the bribe, no questions asked. Parmentier is banking on the idea that the more drama around these guarded potatoes, the more people will think they're the hottest spuds in town. Mission accomplished, right? Well, kinda. The thefts helped to popularize potatoes somewhat, but unfortunately for him, all of this was happening during the lead up to the French Revolution. Famine was rampant and in fact, potatoes were used to help fight starvation in northern France in 1785. Still, people in the other parts of France were suspicious and frightened. So when Parmentier published a paper about the cultivation and use of potatoes under the order of the King of France, it was ignored. It didn't help that the paper was published in 1789. You know, directly before this whole thing began. It wasn't until 1794 that potatoes really began gaining traction in France. This was the year that Madame Mérigeois published a potato cookbook. From this year on, potatoes became widely accepted as the food for the revolutionaries. The following year, massive plots of potatoes were grown to feed rebels as they waged a long siege against the Paris Commune. Napoleon even appointed Parmentier as the first army pharmacist in 1800. The potato guy made it big. As all things do, Parmentier kicked the bucket on 17 December 1813, at the ripe old age of 76. But his legacy lives on. Countless potato dishes are named after him, and his tomb is surrounded by potato plants, showcasing his unwavering commitment. And in Neuilly-sur-Seine, there is a statue of him studying potatoes. So next time you're chomping on fries or digging into a potato dish, give a nod to old Antoine-Augustin Parmentier, the unsung king of potatoes. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching, and remember, I'm